Hello, my name is Lucy Carter, and I will be introducing our company as well as stating their vision and mission statements. Carnival Corporation is a global cruise company and one of the largest companies in the world. Carnival Corporation was founded in 1971 by Ted Arison, with its headquarters located in both Miami, Florida, and in London, England. The company is currently ranked the #1 cruise operator because they boast a dozen cruise lines and about 100 ships, with more in the making. With a total passenger capacity of more than 190,000 for guests and 77,000 shipboard employees, there are more than 267,000 people sailing aboard the Carnival fleet at any given time. Carnival operates in North America primarily through its Princess Cruise Line, Holland America, and Seaboard Luxury Cruise brand, as well as its flagship Carnival Cruise Line's unit brands such as Ada, P&O Cruises, and Costa Cruises offer services to passengers in Europe, and the Cunard line runs luxury transatlantic liners. Carnival operates as a dual-listed company with the UK-based Carnival, forming a single enterprise under a unified executive team. These brands, which include the most recognized cruise brands in North America, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Italy, offer a wide range of holiday and vacation products to customer base that is broadly diverse in terms of culture, languages, and leisure time preferences. Carnival also owns a tour company that complements their cruise operations. The tour companies include Holland America Princess Alaska Tours in Alaska and the Canadian Yukon. Combined, the vacation companies attract 7 million guests annually. Carnival's wide-range product offering provides their guests with exceptional vacation experiences at an outstanding value. The success in providing quality cruise vacation has made Carnival the most profitable company in the leisure travel industry. Carnival's stock is duly listed on both the New York Stock Exchange and on the London Stock Exchange under the symbol CCL. Carnival is the only company in the world to be included in both the S&P 500 index in the United States and the FTSE 100 index in the United States Kingdom. We have conducted a case analysis on the Carnival Corporation and will be discussing Carnival's mission and vision statement, their organizational chart, internal and external factors, company financials, and a strategic solution. We will first begin with the vision and mission statement. Carnival Corporation's mission is to take the world on vacation and deliver exceptional experiences through many of the world's best-known cruise brands that cater to a variety of different geographic regions and lifestyles, all at an outstanding value, unrivaled on land or at sea. Carnival's core values are embedded in their vision statement. Their vision is to consistently deliver fun, memorable vacation at a great value.
Hi, I'm Joanna Kolbeck, and this is the organizational structure of Carnival Corporation. Mickey Arison is the chairman of the board and son of Carnival Corporation founder Ted Arison. Mickey served as Chief Executive Officer until July 2013, when Carnival welcomed Arnold Donald as the new CEO. Ramon Milan is the Chief Information Officer. Jerry Montgomery is the Director of Human Resource Management. David Bernstein is the Chief Financial Officer. Alan Buckelew is the Chief Operating Officer. Larry Friedman is the Chief Accounting Officer. Jim Barra is the Chief Marketing Officer. Josh Leibnotiz is the Chief Strategy Officer. Arnaldo Perez is the General Counsel Secretary. Anne Sherry is the CEO of Carnival Australia. Michael Tham is the CEO of Carnival Spain as well as Costa. David K. Dingle is the CEO of Carnival UK. Peter Shanks is the CEO of Cunard. Michael Ungerer is the CEO of Ada.
Hi, I'm Kathy Mithun, and our presentation is for Carnival Cruise Lines. And I'm doing the IFE and the EFE matrix, and based on our assessment of Carnival Corporation, we determined that the top 4 internal strengths were that they have 10 East Coast ports, including 5 in Florida. Those are Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale. They also have 1 in New York, Maryland, South Carolina, Massachusetts, and Virginia. These give easier access for East Coast customers, which ultimately brings in more income to Carnival Cruise Lines. In addition, Carnival boasts a diverse staff to accommodate several cultures, which encourages a larger customer base. In December 2013, they received a Clean Tech Award from the New Economy. This shows their obvious desire and attempts to clean up their poor environmental image. They are also the largest cruise line in the industry with more than 20 ships and plans to add more in the near future. Of those, we decided the Clean Tech Award was more important and weighted at 0.19 due to their previous bad image and obvious diligence to improve this. We rated it a 4 due to their response to this poor image and receipt of Clean Tech Award. Our ratings were higher for both Clean Tech Award and being the largest cruise line in the industry. Our internal weaknesses included that they only have 3 West Coast ports, those being Los Angeles, Washington, Canada, and 2 coastal ports, one in Texas and one in Louisiana. This is in comparison to their East Coast ports, which they had 10. They also had abuse to their taxes and when they used tax loopholes, which enabled their non-payment of U.S. taxes. This unethical practice placed a shadow on their overall image and reputation. Another weakness was their heavy reliance on the North American economic market, using that for their biggest revenue, ignoring their overseas sales. Finally, their financial statements are only reported in U.S. dollars. This practice alters the value of their non-U.S. generated funds. Of these weaknesses, the one we felt which was most damaging to their public image was using loopholes to evade paying taxes, and we weighted this 0.15 with a rating of 1 since they showed no apparent desire to correct this. Overall, Carnival Corporations had a weighted total of 2.91 for their internal matrix. This is above the average of 2.5 and indicates that the organization is attempting to address some areas of strengths and weaknesses, but there is room for improvement. In our assessment of the external matrix of opportunities, we felt that the top 4 were their upcoming partnership with Isle of Capri Casino. These 2 companies will be offering benefits and discounts with each other, subsequently allowing for more marketing opportunities for Carnival. They're also increasing their production of ships, with the largest one set to be unveiled in 2016. Finally, Carnival has an upcoming merging with the European cruise line Costa Europa. This will open up more of the European market and offer more destinations globally. We felt that the top opportunity was their partnership with Isle of Capri Casino, as they were cross-promoting each other, and we weighted it a 0.17 with a rate of 4. We also felt that increasing ship production and merging with Europa Costa was equally important and weighted and rated as they are expansions of their corporation. The top 4 threats for Carnival includes their damaging press coverage on safety and environmental issues, as they've had 3 recent incidents on their cruise liners leading to poor reputation among cruise lines. In addition, inclement weather conditions also threaten travelers' itinerary and plans. Finally, in February of 2014, Carnival Corporation's chairman, Micky Arison, sold 10 million of his personal shares on the open market. Of these threats, we weighted the negative press coverage for environmental and safety issues a 0.19, but we did feel that the rating was a 4 since they have received a Clean Tech Award and have obviously showed their concerted effort to improve upon this image. Overall, Carnival had a weighted average score of 2.84.
now I'll be covering the SWOT analysis. The SO strategy would be to open more ports along the northern East Coast. The second one would be Carnival will introduce its largest ship that the company has ever built. This will allow Carnival to carry even more passengers and will generate a positive buzz about the brand. The WO strategy, open more West Coast ports to utilize as secondary ports during hurricane season to help offset losses due to bad weather. Partnering with Isle of Capri would help increase revenues, especially during times of economic downfalls. Next, we have the ST strategy. Continued the attempt to maintain clean and safe ships and address health and safety issues promptly. We also had to offer discounts and promotions during times when people are less likely to take cruises. Last but not least is WT strategy. Opening more ports means alternative options when needed to move ships out of areas heavily saturated with hurricanes or other ports that are known to be affected by seasons of inclement weather. And then also we said sell old ships that are not as fuel efficient as the new ones. My name is Gabrielle James and I'm doing the Porter's analysis. The first category is internal rivalry. Carnival is the leading company within the cruise line industry due to its multiple fleets and significant international presence. There are significant barriers to entry and exit within the cruise line industry, which has resulted in a high concentration ratio. The cruise line industry is effectively an oligopoly market, where several major cruise liners make up more than 90% of the market shares. Carnival is constantly engaged in marketing and pricing battles within these competitors, making internal rivalry central to the industry. Additionally, cruise lines have historically been subject to heavy market and advertising activity, and Carnival sometimes competes to acquire even more shares. Overall, Carnival Corporation dominates the industry. Such high market concentration means that there is the potential for collaboration among industry leaders, which might in turn reduce the possibility and intensity of price competition. In practice, however, Carnival undercuts the standard industrial organizational model. By having its various cruise lines compete against each other in the key European and North American markets, Carnival intensifies internal competition. The cruise line industry has relatively high competitor diversity and a moderate level of product differentiation. Carnival and Royal Caribbean are more than 3 times the size of the next largest competitor. Smaller cruise lines tend to specialize in options for a particular demographic or geographic region. As previously noted, Carnival Corporation's multiple brands create a competitive rivalry within the company. However, each brand caters towards a slightly different demographic or specializes in a particular market or geographic region. For example, its original Carnival brand pioneers shorter, less expensive cruises, while its Princess brand offers more luxurious experience. Princess does compete, however, with the slightly more upscale Holland American line. One additional factor increasing internal rivalry in cruising is the industry's high exit barriers. It is difficult for a cruise liner to sell their assets and exit the industry. This increases competition within the industry somewhat, as their inflexibility and capacity adjustment, meaning that companies will undercut their prices to boost sales when overall demand is low. Switching costs between competitors are effectively non-existent, particularly since loyalty programs are common for hotel chains, and airlines have yet to substantially catch on in the cruise line industry, which constitutes a risk for Carnival. The next category is supplier power. Supplier power within the cruise line industry is moderately strong. Most of a cruise ship's suppliers are bought on an open, competitive market. Carnival Corporation stated in its most recent annual report that its largest purchases are for fuel, travel agency services, food and beverages, air transportation services, port facility utilization, repairs and maintenance, including dry docking, advertising and marketing, hotel and restaurant products and supplies, communication services, and the construction and refurbishment of the ships. The threat of integration by these suppliers is very low. One notable exception is Carnival's new builds. There are only 6 major shipyards that have recently built cruise ships, and 2 to 3 more that either perform conversions or have built ships before 2000. Capacity and capability at these main builders is also limited, so Carnival Corporation relies on a limited number of manufacturers for its new builds. The high supplier power within the shipbuilding is weakened because the relationship is symmetrical. Cruising is similarly concentrated market. Additionally, the massive purchase value of a ship provides a sizable incentive for ship suppliers to provide cruise liners with its competitive pricing. Additionally, cruise ship companies such as Carnival face extensive switching costs, both in building and running a ship. Switching a ship's manufacturer is hugely expensive for a cruise company because typically the shipbuilder owns the right over a ship's design, which means that in switching shipbuilders, cruise line companies have to incur the high monetary and time costs in redesigning the ship. Such a switch can cost the cruise line company millions of dollars. Further, there is a high input differentiation between ships, meaning that there are alternatives for the majority of supply components. The cruise ship company markets specific ships and amenities to the consumer, thereby increasing switching costs and supplier power. Lastly, while it is not feasible for Carnival to substitute their ships for one another if they have maintenance problems with a ship scheduled to cruise, it is preferable for them to have easy access to a number of dry docks around the world in order to maintain their ships most efficiently. This can be very costly for Carnival since there are a limited number of dry docks, and it gives dry dock owners considerable supplier power. For this reason, Carnival owns 40% of the Grand Bahama Shipyard at Freeport, Bahamas. It shares ownership with its main competitor, Royal Caribbean, who also owns 40% of the shipyard, as well as the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and private entity who owns the remaining 20%. The shipyard has free floating docks, which is usually more than adequate to serve Carnival and Royal Caribbean's maintenance needs, allowing them to rent use of the docks in order for other cruise companies as needed. The next category is buyer power. Buyer power within the cruise line industry is relatively low. By contrast to most other vacations, more than 2/3 of cruises are still booked through travel agents. Carnival states that no one group of travel companies makes up more than 10% of their business, signaling that buyer concentration is low, which reduces their power. Furthermore, customers are spread around the world and do not have mechanisms through which they can express a collective voice or exert collective bargaining, leaving them with minimal control. Additionally, customers do not have the ability or resources to recreate the cruise experience by themselves. It is by nature a highly packaged deal. This prevents the fragmentation of the cruise in the way that other types of vacation packages have fragmented, as mechanisms and companies have emerged through which customers can more cheaply book and customize individual pieces of their vacation, i.e. booking one-way flights, booking flights and hotels separately, etc. Buyer power is increased by relatively undifferentiated product offered by high-end cruise companies and internet search engines which enable comparisons of price and specifications across multiple locations, brands, and companies. In addition, the continued high reliance on travel agencies increases buyer power because travel agencies make volume purchases and can command lower prices based on the volume of customers they refer to specific companies. Relative to Carnival, however, most travel agencies are quite small. No single agent represents more than 10% of Carnival Cruise Line's bookings. The next category is entry and exit. The risk of entry of new competitors to the cruise line industry that could provide a plausible threat to Carnival Corporation in core markets is low. Entry into the high-end cruise line industry requires a capital of approximately $1 billion, since it costs, on average, $400 million to build a new ship. Furthermore, large cruise ships employ hundreds of sailors and crew that are trained for sea duty. This means that in order for a cruise to be successful, its employees need to have specific knowledge and skill sets, which necessitates training, creating substantial additional costs. This is a significant barrier to entry for any new competitor wanting to build a new cruise line from scratch. Lastly, brand recognition is very important in the cruise line industry, which means that it would take time for a new competitor to build an identity and reputation, slowing or preventing their ability to compete with an established company such as Carnival. The next category is substitutes and complements. Considering that a cruise is a vacation for most customers, the cruise line industry faces a significant threat of substitution from other types of vacations. Traveling by air, land has traditionally been less expensive than cruises. Any vacation can be substituted for, and there is not a high cost to change, which makes the threat of substitution seem very high. Customers who are apt to go on a cruise might instead choose an all-inclusive resort vacation if the price and service appears more appealing. Others might choose to go on an adventure vacation, such as the safari or an all-inclusive travel itinerary that allows them to visit multiple destinations within the same trip. However, cruise liners such as Carnival Corporation aggressively promote the high level of service they offer, the convenience, the all-inclusive nature of their cruises, and particularly since the economic downturn has striven to aggressively price their cruises in order to make them price comparable to and more appealing than potential alternative vacations. In addition, the experience offered by a cruise is very unique and differs from other types of vacations enough that customers who prefer cruises are likely to choose them over other types of vacations, so long as the cost is not a substantial barrier.
Hi, my name is Angela Smith, and I'm going to be talking about Carnival's financials. While Carnival is a profitable company in reasonable financial health, its financial profile has deteriorated in the last several years. Despite the growing number of passengers carried, number of ships, and revenues, its margins and net income have declined. In comparing information from their 2011, 2012, and 2013 financial statements, we can see a decline in total net income from $1.91 billion in 2011 to $1.3 billion in 2012, and further dropping in 2013 to barely over $1 billion. This decline has triggered a fall in the share of Carnival, signaling a decrease in the company's attractiveness to investors and values to shareholders. Their earnings per share was $2.42 in 2011, dropping to $1.67 in 2012, and dropping further still to $1.39 in 2013. In 3 years alone, that is a drop of $1.03. In the long term, in order for Carnival to regain its former value, its margins must improve, and since the company represents about 50% of the cruise market as a whole, that almost certainly means increasing the total market. However, should these trends reverse themselves, Carnival will be well placed to grow. In addition to a growing core business, Carnival has a robust ability to borrow at low rates and raise additional capital, creating the possibility of additional investments or acquisitions. In comparing Carnival with its top competitors, Royal Caribbean and Norwegian, which Norwegian is primarily owned by Genting Hong Kong, we can see that Carnival has by far the largest in sales. However, in looking at their sales growth, we can see that they by far have the smallest, coming in third with 0.48%, as compared to Norwegian at 12.92% sales growth, and Royal Caribbean's 3.54% sales growth. We can also see that Carnival's return on shareholders' equity is by far the lowest at 4.28%, as compared to Norwegian's 8.11%, and Royal Caribbean's 5.53%. The industry average in return on shareholders' equity is currently at 9.52%, which means Carnival's ROE is even lower than the industry average. Additionally, Carnival falls far behind its competitors and the industry average in their return on assets with 2.61%. However, Carnival has the highest PE ratio at 28.01. This is higher even than the industry average, which is at 26.11. This could have a good impact on Carnival, as generally a high PE ratio means that investors are anticipating higher growth in the future. Finally, while Carnival's stock price has suffered since 2005, in part due to a variety of factors including lower dividends, weak growth in the cruising sector, and the Costa Concordia incident, one key to restoring investor confidence is to show rising industry-wide cruise usage and stronger future revenues.
This is a strategic evaluation of Carnival Corporation. Based on the balanced scorecard, Carnival is doing well to strengthen their image as the main focus of their strategic evaluation. Carnival's expected financial objectives are focused on returning value to shareholders through regular dividend contributions and share repurchases. In 2013, Carnival's net income did decrease from $1.3 billion to $1.1 billion. However, throughout this past fiscal year, they produced strong cash operations of $3 billion. With the mishaps of previous years, Carnival Corporation is focusing much effort on Carnival brand recovery. Carnival is doing this with travel agent outreach programs and creative national advertising and marketing campaigns, such as their new Moments That Matter campaign. Carnival also unveiled the Great Vacation Guarantee, which includes a hassle-free money-back guarantee. This is a critical threat to Carnival's competitors because it is an unprecedented idea and necessary to bring new customers in and wary customers back. Carnival Corporation is putting more focus into their customers. Carnival is launching innovative cruise packages that are geared more towards baby boomers who are moving into retirement and the younger generation who are coming on cruises for spring breaks and vacations. Carnival recognizes that they are not only competing with other cruise lines, but also with land-based resorts and vacation packages. These new promotions and marketing efforts are expected to keep Carnival Corporation ahead of the competition. Carnival's non-financial objectives are centered towards ethical standards. Carnival is pledging to comprehensively protect the health, security, and safety of their passengers and employees. With recent fires, generator issues, and tragedies at sea, Carnival is recognizing that consumers are not willing to put up with subpar safety standards. Although Carnival meets U.S. and international safety regulations, they are going a step further and striving to exceed them. Carnival is learning from their mistakes as a corporation, changing strategies, and growing as a whole. Carnival has expanded their community and social responsibility. Carnival recently spent upwards of $300 million upgrading their safety features on all of their cruise lines. Carnival has also recently been awarded a Clean Tech Award by reducing their ship emissions by means of roughly $180 million. Carnival is proving that they are willing to spend the money to transition into a more ethically well-rounded company. Carnival also hired former U.S. Navy Admiral William Burke as their Chief Maritime Officer to oversee maritime quality assurance and policy. With the outcry over their captain Francesco Schettino fleeing the Costa Concordia ship amid the tragedy in 2012, the addition of Admiral Burke is accompanied with high hopes that consumers will have more faith in the training and professionalism of Carnival's crew. Carnival is adventuring into the Pacific Rim, Asian markets, and merging with European cruise lines to grow as a global force, along with unveiling new ships, including the largest cruise ship of all competitors in 2016. Overall, Carnival is focused on continuing their transparent and sustainable business practices. We have 5 recommendations for Carnival. Carnival should become more financially ethical and discontinue their use of tax loopholes. Although this practice may be technically legal, it is ethically wrong. Carnival has a heavy reliance on their North American market. We recommend that Carnival continue their expansion into Europe and South America. Carnival does not have many ports outside of Florida. We recommend that they open more ports on the west coast of the United States and in the Northeast, such as in Virginia or D.C. Carnival should develop a strategic alliance with an airline that would bilaterally benefit both parties. Teaming up with an airline would allow customers to purchase airline tickets at the same time as they purchase their cruise tickets. They also could purchase the tickets as a package deal, creating business for the airlines and saving the consumer money. Carnival should continue to put money and promising minds into research to further their green initiatives. Not only would showing added enthusiasm towards going green benefit their image, it could possibly save them, if not make them a considerable amount of money, if they uncovered a better fuel usage system. Okay.
Working
We're
now?
having
No, would it
technical
go up?
difficulties.
It's not working now.
Hopefully I said their names halfway correct.
Do we need... Oh, dang it.
You're okay. Go. I can edit it.
Carnival. You gotta say it.
To introduce yourself.
What am I supposed to say at the beginning? Your name. Just stop.
That's where we're gonna do it.
Is it click? Here, let's see. Where's it? Where's the mouse?
Right over here.
Okay, so now
It's
try
on a
it.
touch screen, Joanna.
Carnival also owns a tour company that complements their cruise operations. The tour companies include Holland America Princess Alaska Tours in Alaska and Canadian Yukon.
I can
We also felt that increasing ship production and merging with Europa Costa was equally important and rated as they are expansions of their corporation.
Hi, my name is Angela Smith, and I'm going to be talking about the ratios and what am I talking about?